Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, counter-spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve. Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into our time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
An hour of crime drama straight ahead. We start out with Dick Powell as Richard Diamond private detective. This episode, entitled The Enigma of Big Ed, was originally broadcast April 4th, 1952.
Now we bring you another transcribed adventure with Richard Diamond, private detective, starring Dick Powell.
Now, let's see. I play the red 9 on the black 10. Move the 8 of spades off this pile and put it over here. That gives me another king. Now, where's the 3 clubs? I'll sneak a look under here. No, ain't there.
Hello?
No. I'll be with you in a minute. Now, where do you suppose that 3 o'clock?
Rick?
Oh, well. Diamond Detective Agency. Anyone for Pinochle?
Rick, don't tell me you're still at it. You told me an hour ago you'd quit as soon as you'd won one game.
Won one game? That's nice and confusing, isn't it? Helen, baby, I wouldn't admit this to anyone but you, but I haven't even come close.
I was afraid of that. Have you tried stacking the deck?
Helen, that's cheating.
I know, but have you tried it?
Well, just once. But only in self-defense, and even that didn't help. I still lost.
Well, then I'm afraid you're hopeless. Why not give it up and come over here? We could play some gin.
Oh, no. I owe you 1,369 toothpicks now. At that rate, I'll have to buy a lumber camp.
You there on the telephone.
Me?
Yeah, you the boss?
Well, no, not exactly. I'm just the owner.
That's good enough. If that's somebody wanting to hire you, tell him to call back.
Rick, is that man ordering you around?
He's trying.
You hear me? I said tell him to call back.
Now, just a minute.
That's right, killer. Stand up to him. We don't have to take no guff.
Well, honey, I wish you were here so we could get a look at the size of
You
it.
gonna hang up or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Richard Diamond, did you say yes, sir?
Yes, sir. I mean, yes, ma'am. I mean, bye. Bye, Helen, dear.
Okay. You said you were the owner of this outfit? That means your name's Diamond?
Yes, sir.
My name's Ed Barton, Diamond. Don't bother shaking hands, because I got a hunch you ain't gonna go for the deal I'm laying down. That way there won't be any hard feelings. Reason I say that is because I've already been to 3 or 4 of you guys, and they didn't go for it. For my money, you're all a bunch of lilies.
Well, look, Mr. Barton, you
Now, don't get me wrong. That ain't saying you're like the rest of them. Truth of the matter is, I hope you ain't. The deal I got to offer takes a guy with a little backbone.
Well, suppose you tell me what the deal is before you get too involved with my sacrilege.
You've heard of the Barton Metal Works? Well, that's me. I'm the boss. Started out 15 years ago with a forge and an anvil. Today, I got over 40 men working for me, turning out some pretty big jobs. Contracts a lot of these guys around town would give their eye teeth for. If it's made of metal, Barton will make it. That's my motto.
Well, that's as good as some of mine. Go ahead.
Diamond, it took me a long time to get this thing going the way I want it. And now, somebody's trying to mess it up for me. Trouble is, I don't know how much longer I can hold out. Loyalty is one thing, and staying with the sinking ship is something else again.
Very well said, Mr. Barton. Now, would you like to tell me what it means?
4 men quit on me yesterday, Diamond. 6 the day before, and no telling how many today. Word's getting around that the plant is jinxed.
Must be a pretty good reason for it, Mr. Barton. Men don't give up their living over a superstition.
Of course there's a reason for it. Why do you think I'm here?
You tell me.
Because I've had 2 accidents down at the plant in the past 4 weeks. 2 men killed in less than a month. That's a lot of accidents, Diamond.
Yeah, does seem to be stretching things a little.
So now, just because of that, the whole plant's supposed to be bad luck. Diamond, my production's beginning to slack off.
Mm-hmm. Well, just how accidental were these accidents?
Craziest things you ever heard of. Mike O'Brien tripped and fell over a steel rod. Larry Martin got in the way of the big hammer. Just one fool thing after another. Somebody's out to do me dirt, Diamond, and they're trying to get at me through the plant.
Yeah, but why, Mr. Barton?
How do I know why? They just are, that's all. Don't ask me if I got any enemies. I probably got more enemies than any man on the face of the earth. People just don't like me.
Can't understand that. Soft-spoken fellow like you. So, the idea is you want to hire me to go down there and see who's out to get you, huh?
That's right. Got a job already picked out for you down at the plant.
You mean I have to work, too?
Certainly. You don't think I'm going to pay you just to run around asking a lot of fool questions, do you?
No, I guess you wouldn't, Mr. Barton.
Well, how about it? You gonna back down, too?
Mr. Barton, thanks to you, my girl already thinks I'm a coward. Looks like there's only one way to change your mind. Big Ed Barton came as close to a grin as he probably ever would, dumped a tidy retainer on my desk, and stuck out his hand. Coward that I am, I took off my ring and lost 5 fingers somewhere inside of his calloused palm. The bargain being sealed, Big Ed then drove me down to the plant.
Miller, this here's Richard Diamond. Private eye I told you I was getting.
All right.
Get him some clothes and put him on it right away. This is Steve Miller, Diamond, my foreman.
Sure.
And this guy gets 100 a day, Steve. See that he earns it.
I don't mind Big Ed, Mr. Diamond. He means well, but if it isn't made of metal, he doesn't understand it.
Yeah, I wonder how he'd react to a Geiger counter. Which way is the locker room, Mr. Miller?
Down this way, Diamond. Oh, and just call me Steve.
Oh, sure. A nice little place you got here. Being foreman must keep you pretty busy.
Full-time job, all right. I suppose Ed told you what he wants you to do.
Yep. Wait for an accident to happen to me.
Yeah, that's about the size of it. Whoever's behind this will try to get rid of you right away.
Oh, isn't there something else we could talk about? Income tax or the war or something pleasant like that?
Sure. Oh, locker room's right in here.
Good.
Big Ed and I have both gone over the entire personnel looking for a possible suspect. But just about everybody down here has been with us over 5 years. With the plant, that is.
Well, Big Ed seems to think he's got a lot of enemies, Steve.
Oh, it's just his way, Diamond. Ed hasn't any more enemies than the next fella. Oh, here's some stuff that ought to fit you.
Oh, thanks. That's quite a uniform you fellows wear.
Uniform? Oh, the overalls, you mean? Oh, not so bad after you get used to them.
Oh? How long you been wearing them, Steve?
Most of my life, I guess. I was practically born in front of a forge. My father was a blacksmith.
All right. How long have you been with Big Ed?
From the beginning. Since before he moved out of the old shop into the plant here. Of course, I haven't always been foreman. That's only happened in the last... Oh, hi, Fred. Come in for a smoke. Diamond, meet Fred Larson. Hey, what's the matter, Fred?
I'm quitting, Steve.
Quitting?
That's what I said.
Oh, now, wait a minute, Fred.
Save your breath. My mind's made up.
Oh, I see. So it's even got to you.
Look, Fred.
Who's he?
Someone who isn't afraid to go down into the furnace room and take over Larry Martin's spot at the Hammer. Diamond here knows the place isn't jinxed, don't you?
Well, I...
Better not answer that until you've been here a while, brother. I just about had it a couple of minutes ago myself.
You? How, Fred? What happened?
Raylan gave way up on number 5 catwalk. Right there where the plates are stored.
What?
That's what I said. If it hadn't been for that scaffolding, I'd have cashed in right then.
But those railings are always given out, Fred. You know that. It's been happening for years.
Yeah, but this one just came too close. I ain't stopping to pick up my check, Steve. Mail it to me.
Those railings aren't indestructible, Diamond. They just wear out.
What was he talking about? Plates.
Oh, I'll show you when we get up there. Number 5 catwalk's right above the big hammer.
Oh, all right. Well, I'm all dressed. How do I look? On second thought, don't answer that.
Oh, here's the place Fred was talking about, Diamond. Guess I can't blame him for quitting. Would have been a nasty fall.
Yeah. Hey, what's this stuff under the catwalk, Steve?
Oh, those are the plates. They're too heavy to lug back and forth, so we just store them up here on the scaffolding.
Oh, I see. You mean I'm going to work down there under these things?
That's where Big Ed told me to put you, Diamond. He's the boss.
Yeah, I guess that's right. If I ever forget it, I guess he'll come around and remind me. Well, that hammer's a pretty big piece of equipment, isn't it?
Sure is. But the work you'll do isn't hard. The plates come out of the furnace hot. It's your job to flatten them out. All you have to do is flip a switch on the hammer and roll the plates.
Roll the plates? Well, after that climb, I may not even be able to flip the switch.
Otto?
Yes, Stevie?
That's Otto Schmidt. He'll handle the furnace for you.
Well, looks like he can handle the whole factory.
Hello, Stevie. Is the fellow going to take Larry's place?
That's right, Otto. Rick Diamond, Otto Schmidt.
Howdy, Otto.
Hello.
He's a new man, Otto. Never worked in a shop before.
Yeah, I see that. Well, don't worry. I take care of him.
Just how do you mean that?
Now, take it easy, Otto. Production isn't as important as safety right now. Remember that.
Yeah, I remember, Stevie.
Now, you'll be working all alone down here, Diamond. Just you and Otto.
Swell.
Main thing is to keep your eyes open.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, Otto. You can take over now.
Yeah, I take over now. like it, yeah?
Yeah?
Just don't get too close to hammer.
No home should be without one. It's great for straightening nails, pounding out meat.
Yeah, maybe pound out home, too. You think maybe you stay?
Sure. Why not, Otto?
You not scared, huh?
Should I be?
Yeah, maybe not. What kind work you do before?
Delivered telegrams.
Say, you pull Otto's leg?
With these gloves on, don't be silly. Hey, you better heat up this plate again. Hey, this hammer's going crazy or something. What?
Look out, Diamond! Look out!
Where? What?
Up there! Look out for those plates! Jump! Don't!
April 4th, 1952. Richard Diamond, Private Detective on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Now, more of Richard Diamond, Private Detective from April 4th, 1952 on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
Well, Big Ed Barton had another accident on his hands. Otto Schmidt. They carried him out of the furnace room in bad shape, but alive. I went up to have a look at number 5 catwalk. And it took me about 20 minutes up there to decide that it hadn't been any more accidental than my working for Big Ed.
Oh, come on in, Diamond. I'll need your signature on this accident report.
You know, Steve, I don't think it was an accident. That scaffolding didn't come loose all by itself.
Yeah, but I've still got to make out the report. Well, have a chair. I'll have this finished in a minute.
Okay, thanks. You handle the paperwork too, Steve?
Yeah, most of it. Anything concerning the plant itself usually falls in my lap. Ed doesn't care much for office work.
Well, I guess he would look a little out of character to that. And incidentally, how come that railing on number 5 catwalk hasn't been fixed yet? Seems to me if Fred Larson quit on account of it. Whose department is that anyway?
I reported it to Big Ed as soon as I could.
Oh? So where's Ed now?
Home, I guess. Want me to call and see if he's there?
No, that's all right. I think I'll just run over and surprise him. What's the address?
105 East Parkview. Big mansion, you can't miss it.
105 East Parkview, right. I'll sign that report when I get back, Steve.
So, what if it wasn't fixed, Diamond? Those railings cost money. I told Steve not to let that plant nickel and dime me to death, and I meant it.
Then you purposely let it go.
Now, wait a minute. I didn't say that.
But you don't have to, Barton. You got the report over an hour ago. That's plenty of time to get the work done.
Who told you I got the report, Diamond?
Now, what difference does it make? You're responsible for the repairs, aren't you?
That's right. But don't think you're going to jump all over me, Diamond. Matter of fact, I didn't even know the railing was down until you told me just now. Anyway, I don't see what this has to do with what happened to Otto Schmidt.
You don't, huh? Well, I'll tell you, Mr. Barton. Someone got up there where the railing is out and loosened the braces on that scaffolding. If the railing had been up, he wouldn't have been able to reach it.
That's a lot of hogwash. I don't believe it.
I don't expect you to believe me, Barton, but talk to Otto. He saw who was up there. I saw part of him myself just before the plates started falling.
You mean Otto saw...
That's right.
Well, don't look at me. I told you I didn't know anything about that railing.
That's your story, Mr. Barton, and you better stick to it.
Where do you think you're going? I didn't say I was finished with you yet.
No, and I'm not finished with you, Barton. As soon as I've had a talk with Otto, I'm going to take off these overalls and get back into my own clothes, and then you can
You mean you're quitting? Walking out?
That's right. Now, don't worry. I'm going to find out who's behind this, but I'm going to do it on my own. In case you haven't gotten the idea, Big Ed, I don't like working for you. Otto, open your eyes. I want to talk to you.
No talk.
Why? It wasn't an accident, Otto. You know that.
No, it was accident.
Don't you want whoever's responsible for this to pay for it?
No.
What are you afraid of, Otto? Who are you hiding?
I'm afraid it's no use, Diamond. For some reason, he just won't talk.
But why? What's he afraid of?
That's all the time I can let you gentlemen have. You'll have to have some rest now.
Just a minute, Doctor. Mrs. Schmidt, talk to him. Will you see if you...
No. Otto don't want to talk.
All right. How long will it be before I can see him again, Doctor?
Well, that's hard to say. Several hours, anyway. You might check with the front desk later this evening. They can tell you more about it then.
All right, thanks.
Would one of you mind dropping her off? It's getting late. There's nothing she could do here.
I'll take her home, Diamond. You probably feel like a shower and a change of clothes anyway.
Thanks, Steve. But I've still got some work to do. I dropped by the Barton Metalworks to get my clothes out of the locker room, but the night watchman wouldn't let me in without a pass. Too tired to argue with him, I hopped a cab to my apartment for a change of clothes.
Diamond?
Yeah, but wait till I sit down. I just got in.
This is it, Barton. Never mind sitting down. Get over to my house right away. I got something to show you.
I thought I told you.
I know what you told me, but this is pretty important.
All right, what is it?
A note. It was in my mailbox. No stamp, no address, nothing. Just the note.
A note? What does it say?
Well, the fellow used up a lot of words he didn't need, but the gist of the thing is I'm supposed to close down the plant or suffer the consequences.
Maybe that isn't a bad idea, Mr. Barton, if it'll stop these killings.
Well, it'll be a cold day in the furnace room when I close up. Of course, I might get out from under. Work some sort of deal so I wouldn't lose any money.
Yeah, you might do that. But... Whoever it was had been waiting out on the fire escape. The bullet thudded into the back of my best chair, and I got on behind it, wondering which drawer I'd left my gun in this time. After a while, when nothing happened, I sneaked to look around the arm of the chair.
Diamond, what's all the noise?
There was no one there.
What's all the noise, Diamond?
And then I realized Big Ed Barton was still talking.
Hear me, Diamond? Speak up. What's going on over there anyway? What do you think?
Oh, this place gives me the creeps at night, Diamond. Especially way up here. No one around. Just a lot of machinery.
Yeah.
And what are we looking for, anyway?
Oh, I just wanted to have another look at this railing, Steve. Oh, by the way, where were you when I dropped by your place?
Just getting some air. I didn't know you were going to come by. Hey, couldn't we let this go till morning? I don't like it around here when it's quiet like this.
Why not?
I just don't, that's all.
You know, you look pretty good in a suit, Steve. You ought to wear one more often.
Oh, thanks, Diamond. You really think so?
Yeah. Never know to look at you now that you were just a foreman in the factory.
Just a foreman?
That's your job here at the plant, isn't it, Steve? But, doesn't it ever bother you working so many years for a guy who doesn't appreciate it? Especially now that the big contracts have started to come in. Ed's pulling in all the gravy, and you're still nothing but a foreman.
Quit saying that, will you? Quit saying I'm nothing but a foreman.
Why not? It's true, isn't it, Steve?
There's nothing wrong with being foreman. It's a very important job. I got charge of every piece of equipment, every man.
But not charge of the plant. Isn't that right, Steve? Someone else has charge of the plant.
Well, what if he has? Next to him, I'm the boss.
That's right, Steve. Next to him, you're the boss.
Well, suppose I told you he isn't the boss. What if I told you I was in partnership with Big Ed? What would you think of that?
I'd think it was kind of funny, Steve.
Funny, is it? Well, that's the way it is. You can ask him if you don't believe me. He'll tell you.
I mean, it's kind of funny you're still wearing overalls and living in a boarding house when Big Ed has a mansion and a couple of servants. Doesn't add up, Steve.
No, not now it doesn't, but it will. The partner's entitled to full rights, isn't he? Big Ed kept promising me. All these years, he's been promising me.
Promising you what, Steve?
As soon as the money started coming in. As soon as things picked up, I could get out of the plant. I could wear a suit on the job. Meet people.
Why should Barton promise you that?
Because we're partners, that's why. We went in 50-50.
When, Steve? When did you go in 50-50?
Almost 15 years ago. Down at the old place. I used to work the forge. Ed'd go out and get the jobs. He got to talk to the people. All I ever got to do was handle the forge.
I think I understand, Steve.
And then because he got the jobs, he thought he was entitled to more than I was. He said it was all his doing. I was just working for him. He put me on a salary. Made me work in the plant.
But what do you hope to get out of all this? Hating Big Ed is all right, Steve, but if he closes up the plant, you'd be out of a job.
But I won't be out of a job. I'll be in charge then. I'm a partner, ain't I?
All right, Steve, we can go back down now.
Down? Down where? Where are you taking me?
Downtown, to talk to some people.
You mean the police?
That's right. And Steve, just in case you've still got that gun, I think it's only fair to tell you that this time I've got one, too.
The old song and dance man plays a pretty darn good detective, doesn't he? April 4th, 1952, Dick Powell as Richard Diamond, private detective on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. The conclusion follows these messages from your favorite radio station. Just when you thought it couldn't get any better, Mike Lindell and MyPillow launching the MyPillow 2.0. Now, when Mike invented MyPillow, it had everything you could want in a pillow. Now, nearly 20 years later, he's discovered a new technology that makes MyPillow even better. Of course, the patented adjustable fill of the original MyPillow, but now with brand new fabric with a temperature-regulating thread, it's the softest, smoothest, and coolest pillow you'll ever own. Say goodbye to tossing and turning and flipping your pillow over in the middle of the night. And more great news on the MyPillow 2.0 buy one, get one free offer with my promo code Wyatt. MyPillow 2.0 is 100% made in the USA, 10-year warranty, 60-day money-back guarantee. Go to MyPillow.com, click on the radio podcast square to receive the MyPillow 2.0 buy one, get one free offer. Use my promo code Wyatt or call 1-800-928-4715. Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, the conclusion of Richard Diamond, Private Detective, starring Dick Powell, from April 4th, 1952.
Kinda quiet tonight, Rick.
Yeah, kind of quiet, Helen, honey.
Is it because you owe me 1,369 toothpicks?
Well, that could have something to do with it.
Then I'll get the cards and give you a chance to even the score.
Are you kidding? We'll be here for 6 months.
What's wrong with that?
Come to think of it, nothing.
Well, then leave us get the show on the road. While you sing me a song, I'll set up the card table.
Oh, Helen, you are just too good to me.
Ain't it the truth?
Fella comes home from the office, he's tired, needs comforting, and there you are. I just don't deserve someone like you.
Wait a minute. You're reading the wrong part.
Oh.
Maybe you'd just better sing, huh?
Yeah, maybe I better. I cried for you. Now it's your turn to cry over me. Every road has a turning. That's one thing you're learning. I cried for you. What a fool I used to be. Now I found two eyes just a little bit bluer. I found a heart just a little bit truer. I cried for you. Now it's your turn to cry over me.
Where'd the trombone come from?
I played it with my feet. Abe Lincoln taught it to me.
Gosh.
Gosh?
Gosh, and a whole lot of G's. Sometimes, Richard, you really get to me.
Now, steady, girl.
Richard, my fool. kiss me?
Oh, well, here.
This is a kiss?
Oh, honey, after all, I'm tired, sleepy, worn out, bushed, beat. Had a busy day.
You must have had a busy week. When I say a kiss, I mean a kiss. Come here. Now, that's what I mean when I say... Vic? Vic, what's wrong? It serves me right. I'm going to have to get myself a younger detective.
Tonight's adventure of Richard Diamond was written by Ty Cobb with music by Frank Worth. Virginia Gregg was heard as Helen Asher. Others in the cast were Raymond Burr, Jack Moyles, Jess Kirkpatrick, Joe Duvall, and Alan Reed. Richard Diamond, Private Detective, is transcribed in Hollywood by Jaime Del Valle.
April 4th, 1952, Dick Powell, Richard Diamond, Private Detective on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, we want to thank Ted for this week's episodes of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, The Salt City Matter. This episode originally broadcast April 4th, 1956.
From Hollywood, it's time now for...
Johnny Dollar.
Yes? Skyline Apartments, clerk speaking.
Johnny Dollar speaking.
What?
Maybe you don't remember me, but I remember you. I was there last night and got banged on the head by a pair of hoodlums.
I know nothing about it, and I can't talk now.
Well, then you can listen. I'm coming over there in about an hour. I hope your two hoods are there when I show up. Will you tell them that for me?
I'll deliver the message, if you wish.
Do that.
Tonight, and every weekday night, Bob Bailey in the transcribed adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account, America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar. To Sam Rubin and Associates, Insurance Brokers, Majestic Building, Hartford, Connecticut. The following is an accounting of expenditures during my investigation of the Salt City matter. Expense account item 8, $10. Medical bill for 2 stitches in my scalp. Item 9, 10 cents. One more phone call. To the prettiest insurance broker in San Francisco.
You said you'd buy me lunch.
Something's come up.
I don't care what you say. You said you'd meet me. Meet me.
Item 10, $2. More of that ever-loving cab fare. This time I kept the cabbie waiting outside Eleanor Stover's apartment.
Johnny.
Hi, Angel.
I didn't want to be a witch, but I did want to see you, if only for a minute. Come in.
Can't. My cab's waiting downstairs.
But I want... What happened to you?
Oh, I argued a little bit with 2 of Ed Julian's hired hands. He has a little muscle around him these days. No one to worry.
Oh, Johnny, I feel responsible.
Why?
Well, like a big dope, I was the one who sold him that insurance policy. Now you have to mix into it and try to keep him alive. You look like the one who needs protection.
Well, don't look at it that way. If you hadn't sold him the policy, I'd never have come to San Francisco, and I'd never have met you.
And you wouldn't be here right now.
I'll call you later. Ellie.
Yes, Johnny?
I didn't tell you this part. I'm going to serve a subpoena on him and try to get him to appear in court. I don't expect you'll pay any attention to it, and then they'll issue a warrant for his arrest for contempt of court. I figured he'd be as safe in jail as anywhere else.
What subpoena?
An attorney who worked on a few deals with him, a man named Ray Gumby.
Oh, take care.
I went back to my cab and told the driver to take me to the Skyline Apartments. When we pulled up in front, the same kind of things were going on in the same lobby.
Well.
Hello, Moisha.
Oh, Mr. Swift?
Let me. Swifty! Swifty!
You're in here looking for trouble, and you're going to get it. I thought you found that out once.
I sure did, and I sure am. Where's your tall, skinny friend?
He's coming.
Look!
You! Well, if it isn't the Rover boy from Hartford.
How many times we have to toss you out of here?
You've hit your quota. I only get tossed out of one place at one time. What floor is Julian on?
The 4th. But that don't
Get out of my way.
Not so fast.
I'd hate to have to mess you up all over again.
All right, Weisenheimer, this is a knife.
This is a gun.
Oh, that way, huh?
Yeah.
Put that thing away, boy.
I got 2 stitches in my scalp from you boys last night. I'll always have a little scar from them. And somehow I think you should have the same. Under the circumstances, it seemed like the honest thing to do. I left both of them in the lobby and took the elevator unescorted up to the 4th floor. But I was disappointed once more. Ed Julian didn't answer the door, but a small blonde girl who looked like she might have been having a good cry did.
Swifty, what do you want? You're not Swifty.
Is Ed Julian here?
Swifty didn't let you come up here. He won't let anybody up here. How'd you get inside?
Why don't you invite me in and I'll tell you all about it?
Are you a policeman?
No, ma'am.
All right. Why not? Come on in. Whoever you are, mister, you're taking some awful chances.
Well, let's say I'm a friend of Ed's.
Ed hasn't got any friends, and I know all of them. What's your name?
Johnny Dollar. Where do I find him?
I'm Ed's wife. My name's Lorraine.
I know you. I mean, I know a friend of yours, Eleanor Strober. She said she went to high school with you about 10 years ago.
1,000,000 years ago. At least 1,000,000. How did you know her?
I'm in the insurance business. Do you expect Ed back soon?
I don't expect anything anymore. No. What do you want to see him about?
Business. I'd like to wait for him.
If you got this far, you might as well. What about Swifty and Luke downstairs?
They were glad to see me come up.
You want a drink or something? You ought to take off your hat and coat. It'll be cold for you when you... Oh. Did they do that?
Yes, it wasn't too easy getting in.
Oh, those dirty punks. Can I fix it or something?
Doctor just tucked 2 stitches in it. It'll be okay.
I'm sorry. You seem like a nice guy.
Well, you seem like a nice girl.
What?
I said you seem like a nice girl.
Nobody said anything like that to me since I married Ed. You aren't supposed to be nice when I love somebody like Ed Julian.
Well, my job is to protect him. From who or what, I don't know, but to protect him. I want to find him.
Well, you won't protect him here. He hasn't been here for a couple of days.
Where is he?
How should I know where he is? How should I know? I'm only his wife, the hired girl. Those others came in town.
What others?
Those from the east. Ugly men with... Yesterday... No, I guess it was the day before. Ed was here with one of them. A man named Chili Winters. They sat right there, drinking, talking. Then they both went out together. I didn't like the way that Chili looked.
Where'd they go?
I don't know. Oh, get out of here, Johnny. You aren't going to find him here ever. Go on. Beat it. He'll kill me if he found me talking to anybody. He'd kill me, I know he...
I didn't want that to happen, so I left. No one was in the lobby to say hello, fire a bullet, or use a blackjack. I spent another hour downtown at the Hall of Justice looking up the record of Chili Winters, a list of felonies ranging from armed robbery to assault with a deadly weapon. He'd been convicted twice on the latter charge, once in Michigan and once in California. It seemed likely that tracing him might prove helpful in locating Ed Julian, but he was not to be located either. About 3 o'clock in the afternoon, after a fruitless day of trying to locate Winters or Julian or both, I went back to my hotel room.
Oh, Mr. Dollar. Mr. Dollar?
Now what?
Do you remember me? The desk clerk at the Skyline?
Yeah, I remember you.
I must apologize for what happened. I mean, all the trouble you had with Mr. Swift and Mr. Luke. They didn't handle the matter very well.
No, they didn't. What's on your mind?
Well, I'll be very blunt. 2 things are on my mind. Ed Julian and your problem in locating him. I'm just a desk clerk, I need every penny, you know.
I hope you're sawing it away.
I took an awful chance coming here. You asked for Mr. Julian twice yesterday. You found him neither time.
Come on, get to it, will you?
Well, I know you aren't a thug like those others. I mean, I didn't know until Mrs. Julian told me you were an insurance man. Well, anyway, I know where Mr. Julian can be found.
Where?
And I'd hoped you'd be able to,
Here. This is all I'm able to. Now, where is he?
Oh, thank you, Mr. Dollar. Now, I just happened to overhear this morning when I was working the switchboard. Mr. Julian, well, he's in Salt City, California. The Salt City Smelter Company, I believe, one of his enterprises. It seems he went there with a Mr. Winters because there's going to be a kind of a big meeting of all of them there. Mr. Reno and others. Sometime this week. Does that make sense to you, Mr. Dollar?
It might. Yeah. All right, you've got your money.
Oh, yes, thank you, Mr. Dollar. Oh, and please don't mention to anyone that I was here, that I disclosed this to you. I'd lose my job if it got out, and I need everything.
A local filling station furnished a map of California, which located a place called Salt City about 300 miles away in the desert. I decided to ask a man who might know about it, Ray Gumby, attorney at law.
Uh-oh.
What?
I've handled correspondence from there. Not on the beaten path.
Well, that doesn't tell me much.
As near as I can gather, it's an enterprise town, lock, stock, and barrel. If Ed Julian's gone over there, well, let's forget all this, at least my part of it.
Why?
I don't want you to go that far in trying to get him back here. Salt City's real bad news.
Yeah, sounds like it, Mr. Gumby.
Let me ask you something. Why are you going this far on this case? Sounds like a loser to me.
I don't know, Mr. Gumby, I don't know. But I've had the feeling, ever since Ed Julian's name was first mentioned, that something was happening. Something way off somewhere, but so close I could touch it.
That's funny. I've had the same feeling.
Expense account item 11, $38. Transportation. By train, San Francisco to Salt City and return. It was just coming up dawn when the conductor nudged me out of a restless sleep and told me the Salt City stop was 60 seconds long. I took my bag and stepped off onto the dry, sun-baked clay that served as a station platform. Then I looked around and saw a yellow, grimy little town stuck along one side of a yellow, grimy little mountain. The stacks from an immense smelter rising up to the skyline, the smell of phosphorus and coke in the air. It had been a bad trip to what was obviously a bad place. And naturally enough, bad things began to happen right away.
Taxi, mister?
Yeah, sure.
Where to?
Salt City Smelter Works. Know where they are?
Oh, yeah, I know where they are, but I ain't taking you there.
What?
Yeah, get your hand off of my cab door.
Hey, look,
Get your hand off the door. Call a cop.
You better do like he said, pal.
Huh? Oh, sure.
Smart. You ever been here before?
Nope.
This is the end of the line, pal. I've been here twice. Both times I promised myself I'd never come back again.
Then what are you doing here now?
Accident. They kicked me off their freight. I get nightmares about this place. I remember the first cop I ever met here in Salt City. While I was spelling my name to him, he hit me in the face several times. Always by mistake, of course. But don't risk any mistakes, friend.
I'm not going to be here long.
That's good, that's good. That's real good. You know what?
What?
Somebody made this dump and then forgot about it. Just plain forgot about it. I see you.
No bird sang. No dog barked. No cock crowed. Nothing. Nothing but that feeling inside of me and something saying, it's going to happen here. It's going to happen here.
And now here's our star to tell you about tomorrow's intriguing episode of this week's story.
Tomorrow? Well, maybe I was psychic or something, because tomorrow is when that feeling, that hunch, turns into action. Join us, won't you? Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, starring Bob Bailey, is transcribed in Hollywood. Written by John Dawson, it is produced and directed by Jack Johnstone. Be sure to join us tomorrow night, same time and station, for the next exciting episode of Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Roy Rowan speaking.
Part 3 of the 5-part Salt City Matter episodes of Yours Truly, Johnny Dollar. This one from April 4th, 1956, here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Visit Ted at radiomemories.com. Radiomemories.com, shows on cassette, CD, or flash drive for your computer. Nicely restored. Radiomemories.com. Thank this station, support their advertisers. It's their kindness and courtesy that allows us to come to you each and every time you roll around here on your favorite station. We appreciate them. Hope you will as well. All of our shows are available on demand, 21 hours a week of great classic radio theater programs by going to classicradio.stream. That is classicradio.stream. Stream our shows. Learn about building a classic radio collection of your own. You can contact me there, find our social media links. You can also find a list of sites where you can download our shows from. And if you're so inclined, you can buy me a coffee. That Buy Me a Coffee money helps us acquire additional classic radio collections and maintain our distribution channels. Classicradio.stream. Thank this station, I said that already, but also tell all your friends the greatest radio shows of all time are right here at this spot on the dial. Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite radio station.